That's why so many teachings talk about watch your thoughts, think positive, mind control, focus your mind in certain ways, which are all wonderful teachings. What I would like to work with, my fascination, my love, is to work with what's underneath that. So why is it someone is having a fearful thought? Someone with a fearful thought who tries to control that thought is having a difficult time going all the way back into what created the need, or the experiences that finally created the need for that kind of a fearful thought. Energy work, like what's happening right now, is going back into, if, for example, if someone chose a phobia that they have, maybe they're afraid of heights or something, this energy now is tracing back from this point, the phobia, tracing back through finding all of the contributing influences that led to the eventual outcome that's being called a phobia. And it is shifting all of those experiences that were creating this present situation, and therefore the future will also be transformed simultaneously. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's just phenomenal what we are able to do now energetically, and everyone can do this. That's the magnificent part of it. Everyone can do this, and if you aren't already doing it for yourself, then go someplace and get trained in how to do it. And if you want to learn how to energetically shift what is creating the fear in the mind, the thoughts of the mind, the beliefs of the mind, then come learn how to do this kind of a pulse technique that can shift, vibrationally shift what is creating the need for those kinds of things that are in your way right now. Because we are just programmed to seek pleasure, avoid pain. We're a little bit like a computer, a very fancy computer in some ways, and yet we are programmed with this little on-off switch of seek pleasure, avoid pain. And so as we go through life and we have our experiences in life, they get kind of sorted by, I like this and I want more of it, I don't like that and I don't want any more of it. And so with that kind of a sorting system going on, we begin to establish our beliefs and our opinions and our actions and our words and our thoughts, and we kind of weave our way through life using that sorting device. Well, this particular energy work will go back into the very beginning points where things were being sorted for I like it, I don't like it, and will lift those, we'll call them positive and negative charges, out of the experiences so that you can now become free. And you don't have to have a certain kind of force pushing you to behave in certain ways, or your personality. People say, well, it pushed my buttons, or it was just an automatic anger response. Of course I would have an automatic anger response. Well, no, probably you would have a response in your animal body for fight or flight, and that would be about the extent of it, fight or flight. And after that, anything beyond that is just the additional additions of the mind, adding on when it thinks about it and builds it up and goes over it and reviews it and creates beliefs. And when we begin to understand that we can change, I call it the cause of the cause. So someone will say, well, I don't like heights because they make me afraid. Well, I like to go another layer deeper and go, why are you afraid? And the energy does that. I don't have to. The mind doesn't have anything to do with it. The energy goes deeper and picks up what needed to be released. There's an example I like to use about how energy can begin to clear the different vibrations. And everything has a vibration. Our personality, our beliefs, our thoughts, our words, everything has a frequency or a vibration to it. And some of those vibrations are very high, meaning very divine and refined, and some of them are very low vibrations, very slow, gross meaning low vibration. And the lower vibrations are anger, guilt, shame, remorse, regret, greed, lust, those kinds of lower vibrations. And then the higher vibrations begin with love, compassion, forgiveness, spontaneity, aliveness, playfulness. Those kinds of things are moving up into the higher vibrations. And then we go even beyond those into what would be divine vibrations, where we really are linked ongoing with divinity and can really begin to make profound changes in the world around us. And that's when we can really begin to step out and serve in whole new levels, whole new ways. So.
And Joe, you have talked about, because you're talking about the world, could we get into what you think about the future? Some people call it the end times, new times, or a shift of consciousness that's occurring right now. Can you sort of get into that a little bit?
I'll talk a little bit about that. And my area of expertise is transformation of consciousness, how to assist someone in transforming their consciousness from the mundane, human, everyday into the divine. And at the same time, I have some ideas about what is taking place energetically because I understand a little about the energetics. And right now, we are moving into different vibrations that are becoming available to the entire planet. It's not specialized in one area of the country or another. It's coming into the entire planet, where the vibrational rate is raising. And so what used to be common knowledge 100 years ago would now be called antiquated or abusive or a very limited view, and what is becoming common knowledge now would have been called divine or very advanced. And we are now at a place where we are doing another one of those kinds of quantum leaps, where the vibration coming in now is gathering all of us, embracing all of us, swooping us up and lifting us, elevating us into another higher vibration, where the things that I've been talking about, being able to change your consciousness instantly, beginning to work with energies, bilocation, teleportation, all of that stuff will become common knowledge. Wow. And children being born today, many of them have this connection into this common knowledge of, well, yes, of course we can heal ourselves instantly. Yes, of course we can have great, loving, compassionate hearts. Yes, of course we can do all of this. So we are all, as we're moving into what's being called the end times, what we're talking about is the end of what we have been struggling through as a human being. And we are moving to the end of this humanness and into the time of our divine expression. So we are heading into that golden age, or the 1,000 years of peace, or all of the ways that it's, I think, it's been referred to historically for thousands and thousands of years. It's been predicted that this time is coming, and we are so fortunate to be alive here in a physical body to experience this. I mean, of all of the billions and billions and billions of souls that could have been chosen to come here to live and incarnate into physical form, each of us here had the magnificent good fortune to be chosen to come here and experience this. This is opportunities for such magnificent spiritual growth, huge, huge transformation of consciousness that we get to have the opportunity to experience. Perhaps billions and trillions and gazillions of other souls are watching or observing, or perhaps benefiting remotely, long distance. We are here in physical body. We are here to experience. We are here to participate in it. And it is such a divine blessing to be awake here now. And as we awaken to this possibility, we will begin to find the avenues to accelerate ourselves. We'll begin to find the teachers and the opportunities and the workshops and the training and all around us that will help uplift us and accelerate and move us even more faster, more rapidly into our awakening of our consciousness, into full divine connection. And each person, every single person on this planet, has someone around them that they have been exposed to who will be an assistant for them. It's divinely ordained, so to speak, that everyone at their level, whatever level of consciousness or awareness is, will be drawn towards those groups, drawn towards those teachers that match who they really are inside in that moment and will help them to take the next steps. So There are groups formed all over the world. There are churches. There are ministers. There are healing workshops. There are all kinds of opportunities for every person to reach out and begin to assist and transform themselves and their consciousness. It's just a magnificent time.
This ends Part 5 of the Law of Attraction Talk Radio interview with Joe Dunning. Please go to the final Part 6, or you can download the entire show by going to lawofattractiontools.com and click on the Listen Live button.